Well, hello there. Welcome to the third Pride review of 2026. If you're new here, I'm doing reviews of queer or queer-coded horror movies every Saturday throughout the month of June to celebrate Pride. And if you're a regular, I hope you're enjoying the reviews so far. Today's review will be enhanced with portions of an interview I did recently with filmmaker Troy Escamilla, and as a result of that, it'll be a little bit longer than one of my regular reviews. Happy Pride, everyone! Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the 3-Minute Horror Show. My name is Ben, your host, and I love horror movies. In fact, I watch the bad movies so that you don't have to. You're welcome. Today I'll be reviewing the movie Hollow Lake from 2025. A newly married couple are experiencing some bumps in their relationship, and they decide to spice things up at a lake house. They do just that, get a lot more than they expected, and things go off the rails very fast.
Wow.
This movie was written and directed by Troy Escamilla. He's also made the movies Party Night, Mrs. Claus that we've reviewed on this channel, and Teacher Shortage. Troy is also one of the two hosts of Dark Night of the Podcast, so go check that out too. Hollow Lake is not on any streaming services at the moment because it's making the film festival rounds. Troy was kind enough to provide me with a screener so that I could pull clips though. Max and Baker are a married couple going through some relationship trouble. Max is feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled, so he's been hitting up all the hookup apps, and Baker is spending all of his time working. The time they do spend together, they spend fighting. It's a bad situation. Max discusses his marital problems with his boss Justin, played by the hilarious and talented Roger Connors. It seems that Baker wants to try some new things in the bedroom, things that Max hasn't been willing to do up to this point. Max finally capitulates, and they decide to head to a property that Baker owns on Hollow Lake, and they invite Justin and his partner for a party.
Hollow Lake is, yes, going back to the basics. I was like, you know what? I just budget wise, things like that. I just want to keep it simple. So Hollow Lake does go back to kind of the basics of a small cast. There's maybe 5 main characters in the film, mainly one location. Although we actually have, if you really watch the film, there's a lot of locations. Don't let it fool you. It just seems like the lake house is the main location, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the film that is actually different locations and stuff. But Hollow Lake is just, it's a bold queer slasher film. If you didn't know, I'm also I'm a queer filmmaker, okay? And so I finally kind of got the I don't want to say the courage, but just the really strong desire to make just a bold, in your face queer film.
When the couple arrive at the house, they aren't quite sure what to expect. There's a "Let's Go Brandon" sign on the lawn, and the caretaker that runs the place is a totally jacked older dude. They expect a certain kind of reception from this man, but it turns out that his grandson is gay, and he's surprisingly accepting and progressive. Max and Baker head up to the house, and the handyman is just finishing up some work on the place. This is Cody, the grandson of the caretaker. He's a military veteran, and he's a bit weird.
Yeah, I when I started it, I guess in my mind I was saying, you know what? Yes, this is a slasher film. At the heart, it is, I guess, a slasher film, but I wanted to do something a little bit more psychological because all my other films are very strictly slasher films through and through. This one is a slasher film, but there's also different layers going on. So when I was writing it, I was thinking, you know what, this is kind of my gay version of something like The Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
You have a couple that are having some problems. They go to an isolated house. People show up, start to terrorize them, and we all know how that ends. So when I was writing Teach Hollow Lake, I kind of had The Strangers in mind, and especially like how I wanted the film to look. Like when we filmed
Yeah.
it, I wanted it to look atmospheric like The Strangers is. But I would say that was my biggest kind of go to when I was writing the script was The Strangers.
The party starts when Justin and Alex show up, and the two couples drink, talk, and have a good old time. Roger Connors even does a dance scene in a kimono that he totally rocks. All good things must come to an end, though, and this morphs into a home invasion film in the third act. Someone is hunting these men down one by one and ending their lives. Who is it? Why are they doing this? And will anyone survive the night? You'll have to watch the movie to find out. This movie was shot beautifully. The night scenes were perfectly lit, and the chef's kiss was the perfect full moon shining through most of the third act. Shoutouts to Mick Coons and Zach Schildwachter, who captured that atmosphere so expertly. The performances were all strong, especially on the part of Connors and Elias Alexandro, who played Cody. Director Troy Escamilla has created something special here.
Yes.
It's not solely a slasher film, it's also a commentary on marriage, internalized homophobia, and trauma. I was fortunate enough to be able to see it on the big screen, seated directly next to Troy, watching it at the Toronto Indie Horror Film Fest. That was an amazing, special experience, and I'll remember it forever. I hope you feel the same way, Troy. Everybody loved that movie.
Duh.
I highly recommend this film. If it's playing at a festival near where you are, go see it. I rate Hollow Lake a 9 out of 10. As always, link to my Letterboxd appears in the video's description. Please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does boost my engagement and helps my channel grow. Smell you later, nerds.
It's the little things. And speaking of little things, it's leg day at the gym, so maybe I'll see you there for once.